Okay, well, welcome once again to GMS Chaos on the Streets. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakwadash, whom I worship, and double honor to my other apostles of Great Millstone, who taught me these words in sincerity and in truth, and who rule well. Pretty much this is a continuation to the last video that I made a little while ago. And pretty much I've been speaking a lot about Iran, that we got to keep an eye on the situation that's happening between Iran and the United States, because it's all prophecy. We know that there's going to be a third world war. We don't know exactly what's going to cause it, but this situation with Iran might be the thing that may spiral into this third world war. So we don't know. That's of the Lord. That's of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, of course. So all we got to do is watch and wait, and to see how this thing plays out. So anyway, I just want to get into the people that call themselves Iran. I wanted to get into a little history about them, because who exactly are the people of Iran? Well, these are the ancient people of Elam, the Elamites. Okay, and they had an empire known as the Persian Empire, and they ruled jointly with the Medes, and that's why it was called the Medo-Persian Empire. So I want to get into some information and history concerning them. I'm going to go into the scriptures and then pull out some info concerning these people. So this is Genesis, the 10th chapter, the 22nd verse, and it reads, "The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram." So the Elamites are Shemitic, but they are not Hebrew, because they didn't come from Eber's line, and from Eber came the chosen line. The word Eber goes back to the Hebrew word Ibar, which means from the past. Okay, and what was from the past? The language that everyone spoke at the beginning, the Lashon Kodash. Okay, so Elam, they were Shemitic, but they were not Hebrew. See, so this is known as the Table of Nations right here, Genesis the 10th chapter. So it says that the children of Shem, Elam. So Elam was the eldest of the children of Shem, of the sons of Shem. Let me say, of the sons of Shem, Elam was the eldest. Okay, so they were Shemitic, but they were not Hebrew. When you go to the 25th verse, it breaks down the line they came from, Eber. All right, but we're not dealing with that today. We're just dealing with Elam. And the word Elam comes from the Hebrew word Ayalam. I believe it's Ayalama. Okay, which means. So I went here to the Blue Letter Bible to get the meaning to Elam, right? So this is went to the tools in the Blue Letter Bible for that same verse, and the entry there for Elam is H5867. You see in the Hebrew it says Ayalama. Okay, and it reads the Strong's definition, Ayalam or Ayalama. Ezra 10:2, Jeremiah 49:36, probably from H5956. We'll go there. They got here hidden. Example distant. That's not the definition. All right. Elam, or it could be, right? It could be. It says Elam, a son of Shem, and his descendants with their country, also of 6 Israelites by the name of Elam. It says probably from, let's try this entry right here. It says probably from this entry here, age 5956, and it's Ilam, and it says a primitive root to veil from sight, for example, conceal, literally or figuratively, any ways, blind, dissembler, hide self, secret thing. Right, so the Hebrew word for Elam is Ayalam, which really means young, but they got something else here. And to prove that, I'm gonna go to the book of I'm gonna bring up Isaiah to break down to that to the word virgin in Isaiah, the 7th chapter, and the 14th verse. So this is Isaiah 7th chapter and the 14th verse, and where it says, behold, a virgin, right? It says, behold, a virgin shall conceive. When you look that up, that entry is H5959. And that Hebrew word is Ilama. So Ilama and Ayalam, those are pretty much the same words. All right, so it means young. So going back to so going back to Genesis the 10th chapter 22nd verse, it says the children of Shem, Elam and Ashur. Ashur, that's where the Assyrians came out of, and Arphaxad and Lud and Aram. Okay, out of Arphaxad, I'm sorry, I said before, I had said Eber. Eber came out of Arphaxad. That's where out of Arphaxad was the chosen line from the sons, out of the sons of Shem. Salakia, that's, correct myself. And that's where the chosen line came out of. Okay, not from Elam and not Ashur. Okay, and see, these nations, they knew that history. They knew that the Lord, they knew of the Lord. Back then in the ancient world, they knew the Lord as Al-Ashadya, which means terrible demon-like power. And he wasn't well known, like the Most High told Moses, I believe in Genesis the 6th chapter, I believe. He said that he was not well known by the name of Yahweh, but he told Moses, I am that I am. He said, look, my name is Yahweh, I am that I am. And that's who you should tell my people that who sent you, right? So this is Britannica.com. Back in the day, before the internet, I'm showing my age right now, you had what was called encyclopedias. And the Encyclopedia Britannica was one of the most popular encyclopedias out there, okay? But this is from Britannica.com. It says Elam, ancient kingdom, Iran. Um, it says other titles or alternative titles: Haltami, Elam II, Susiana. Okay. It says Elam, quick facts, related places: Iran, Susa, Koga, Sambil, and Shan. It says Elam. So pretty much the Iranians today are the Elamites. All right, and one of their kingdoms, the ancient kingdoms they had, was the Persian Empire. Okay, it says Elam, Elamite, Haltami, Akkadian, Elam II, also called Susiana, ancient country in southwestern Iran, approximately equivalent to the modern region of Khuzestan. 4 prominent geographic names within Elam are mentioned in ancient sources: Awan, Anshan, Saimash, and Susa. I believe in the book of Esther it mentions Susa in there. It says Susa was Elam's capital. And in classical sources, the name of the country is sometimes Susiana. Throughout the late prehistoric periods, Elam was closely tied culturally to Mesopotamia, later perhaps because of domination by the Akkadian dynasty, circa 2334 to 2154 BCE. BCE stands for before Common Era. Elamites adopted the Sumero-Akkadian cuneiform script. Eventually, Elam came under the control. First of the Guti, a mountain people of the area, and then of the third dynasty of Ur. Ur of the Chaldees. As the power of Ur in turn declined, the Elamites reasserted their independence. In that turbulent period, Elam's unique system of matrilineal succession emerged. Sovereignty was hereditary through women, in that a new ruler was always son of a sister, of some member of an older sovereign's family. About 1600 BCE, new invaders of Mesopotamia, the Kazites, may have caused the fall of both Babylonia and Elam. Thereafter, almost nothing is known of Elam until the latter part of the 13th century BCE, when it began re-emerging as a substantial international power. Right, because before I was talking about the first, Babylon and the ancient Elamites before they came into power to be known as the Persians, right? It says thereafter almost nothing is known of Elam until the latter part of the 13th century BCE, when it began re-emerging as a substantial international power. The Elamite kings, Shutruk-Nad-Huntin, it's kind of hard, difficult names to pronounce, and Kutur-Nahunti, invaded Mesopotamia and succeeded in securing a large number of ancient monuments, such as the Victory Stele of Naram Sin and the stele bearing the law code of Hammurabi. Shukhat in Shinnah campaigned vigorously, and for at least a short period his domain included most of the Mesopotamia east of the Tigris River and reached eastward almost to Persepolis. This greatest period of Elamite conquest ended when Nebuchadnezzar I of Babylon reigned circa 1119 to circa 1098 BCE, before the Common Era, captured Susa. For almost 300 years thereafter, nothing is known of Elamite history. In 640 BCE, however, the Assyrian king Ashurbanipal invaded Elam, sacked Susa, and deported some of the leading citizens to Samaria in Palestine. Later, Elam formed a satrapy of the Persian Achaemenid dynasty, and Susa became one of the three most important cities of the Persian realm. And if you want, you could look up the Achaemenid dynasty. It says Elam's cultural accomplishments do not appear to have been extensive. Written business and governmental documents are limited in scope. Still less is known of Elamite religious beliefs, because no epic or religious materials in the Elamite language have been discovered. The language itself is not clearly understood and had no known ancient relatives and no modern descendants. Elam's art and architecture clearly derived much of its inspiration from Babylonia. Well, they used to speak Hebrew, see, but now you had the Tower of Babel, where the Most High confounded the languages of the nations, and the only one that was left with the pure tongue was the chosen line. Eber. All right, Eber lived during that time, and he was the only one left with that. He was the one that was left with that, the chosen language, which was the Lashawan Kodash, which they call Hebrew after the man Eber. Okay. Let me read on. It says Elam's art and architecture clearly derived much of its inspiration from Babylonia. The temple complex and palace of Koga Sambil, along with its impressive ziggurat, are excellent remaining examples of Elamite culture. So I'm going to end this right here, continue it later. I'm still at work, so just look out for the follow up to this video. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.